Hi, my name is Norman and welcome to the second part of, this watch thingy here. The beauty about custom watches is, well, you don't like something, you can change it, right? So first thing I did, which is honestly not proprietary to custom watches, but I replaced the strap with a NATO strap. I had it just lying around in my drawer. The reason I did this is because it matches a little bit better to the overall case and design language of the watch. If it would focus, I could actually tell you what I'm talking about. Come on. Yeah, I forgot I turned off autofocus because it has, I think it has trouble finding my face since I got these new glasses, and then it's always focus breathing. You realized that in the other video. Anyway, yeah, I replaced the strap with a NATO strap because it happens to have black PVD coated stainless buckles and other metal parts. So now all the metal parts are matching in stealthy black, which is nice. So the second thing I did, now comes the part which is a little bit more special to me, which is I replaced that, where is it, like that, look at that. I did replace the automatic bridge, and if you thought that the first video was kind of a bumpy ride, you're not gonna enjoy this one here. Yeah, guys, just buckle up and watch me doing the second part of the modding thing. So these Seiko NH movements, they are not decorated, right? To me, I would rather have the thinner case back here and water resistance which comes with it than having an exhibition case back to show off an undecorated movement like this one. But you know, it's 2022, a lot of things have changed in the modding community, so I'm actually going to do something for the first time to me, which is replacing the bridge with a decorated bridge and a rotor too. Yeah, so that it's worth it having an exhibition case back. So this time our good friend Ali is helping us out. So this screwdriver actually came together with the bridge and the rotor, yeah. So this is the rotor. And this one here is the bridge. Wow, looks nice. And also I think there are blued screws supposed to be inside there. Or not, I don't know. So this one is the display case back. Securely packaged, which is great. Yeah, for your information, this one does have the 200 meter water resistance, as it says on the dial. The new case back only does have 100 resistance, 100 meter water resistance, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm not gonna dive 100 or 200 meters, so I don't care that much. But also for, you know, diving in general, like jumping into the pool, I think 100 is still, it's okay. Dude. All right, I'm just gonna leave it here inside the packaging to prevent dirt getting in the inside of the case back, right? All right, I actually thought that this part I ordered was a drop-in replacement for the main bridge. So I started to completely disassemble the watch until I got to the main bridge, and then I found out that these parts won't fit.
Okay.
So I went back, I actually looked it up, and this thing is just replacing the automatic works bridge, if that part's called that way, I don't know. So I had to put back the movement together, and it worked surprisingly well. So watch is still running, and now I'm trying to actually make it fit to replace the automatic bridge. Now we're gonna add those tiny screws again. Now let's get some wind in. All right. Yeah, that sounds right. You can see the balance springing up. Flip it over. Watch is running. Beautiful. Now we could just put in the old rotor, but of course we're not here for that. We can install the new rotor and blued screws. Okay. Okay, let me see. Here are the blue screws. Tiny screws, but since we have them, there are 3 included, but I only have 2 visible screws at the moment. So I think we're just gonna unscrew the old screws and put in the new ones. Having blue screws is actually, well, they used to do it for corrosion resistance, but you know, it's a special kind of heat treat. But nowadays it's just for the looks. And I think that these screws are also painted blue, not actually heat treated blue. But I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of an eye catcher here in the back. So yeah, that's neat. And again, look at that. Yeah, I just realized that I forgot to turn on the light after my short break. But here we are with lights and 2 blue screws. Now comes the rotor. And once that's in, we're done for good. Okay, I think it's just a simple drop-in replacement. Literally, just drop it in. And we're gonna try to align it. Yeah, it was pretty tight when I tried to open it. This is not sounding good. All right, I have been thinking. So, this scratching sound here is not very desirable, right? So, what we are gonna do is remove that again. And remove this one again. And let me do that first. I think that the outer diameter here is a little bit too large. Naturally, I would just, you know, grind down a little bit. Very, very carefully, because it's just like 0.1 millimeters. It's very, very little, which is too much. But the problem is I don't know what material this is. This could be like regular, whatever metal that is. But it also could be like, I don't know, brass and then coated with zinc or something. So if I remove the outside, it would kind of suck if we had the brass visible on the inside.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to choose some random, unimportant looking surface, which are the matte surfaces here. And we're just trying to scratch it. I know it's an ugly mark, but it's on the inside. You're never going to notice. So, quick test showed it actually does scratch, you know, like a solid metal, not coated. So we can and will grind down a little bit from the outside. Shouldn't take too long. These finger things, I know I have them lying around and I'm not using them, and I know it's bad practice. Usually I just don't care because it's a lot more comfortable to not use your fingers, or these. But because now I'm touching it a lot, and especially the surfaces, which I think are hard to clean up later. So I'm making sure that there's no finger grease in there. And now what I'm doing is I'm slowly and carefully grinding it over the 400 grit sandpaper. And I'm gonna work myself up the grit later, maybe not, I don't know yet. I think the surface looks alright, especially because it's only visible from the side. I think 400 grit is enough. The bigger question is how much. It's very thin, right? It's only low, very low pressure required to actually already see a result. It would be really, really cool to have like a 45 degree angle on the outside of bevel, but I'm not nearly capable of doing that, at least to have it looking nice, so I'm not gonna even try to do that. Okay, interesting enough. Look at that. There's brass on the outside, which I suspected from a part like that, right? And upon further inspection, I realized that, for example, here, that's coming off, the coating. So I think it's some sort of foil on there. It's not like real perlage, which is a bummer, but expected at this price point. Yeah, I was always wondering how they actually did pull this off. And that's how they do. They just put some kind of foil on it, and there's no way to fix it without making it worse, I guess. So I'm leaving it as it is because, you know, it still looks very nice and a lot nicer. If it doesn't fit, just send it back and ask for a new one, because you're gonna, well, destroy the part if you try to sand it down. Anyway, here we are. I'm just gonna put it back in and hope that this time it's gonna work. So now comes the last step, which is, well, adding the gasket and adding back the case back. And here's also a funny thing, I still haven't unwrapped it yet, so I don't even know if that case back does leave enough space for the rotor. The rotor is a little bit larger than the original rotor, so it could be that everything was for nothing and we have to undo everything we just did. So there we go. Oh, it comes with a gasket, but we don't need that. We already have one. And then, all right, there we go. Right, close it up properly. Oh yeah, it's spinning. And look at that. Oh wait. Here we go. We got two little blue screws here, and some red jewels are visible, and the perlage, the fake perlage. And now, since we made all that work, you're gonna add the NATO strap back and cover it up. Yeah. So you guessed it, I think I'm gonna replace the NATO strap one day. I don't know yet with what. I think leather doesn't really fit. I think a sailcloth strap or a canvas strap, something in that direction, would look really nice, or just a two-piece NATO strap. But for now, this is what I have. Yeah, I'm gonna order a new one day. Like that. There we go. Time is set. And it's running. And it looks exactly like before. But to me, I know now that it also is beautiful on the inside, right? Very nice. So now that's it, guys, for real this time. Yeah, the watch is done. Yeah, of course, we had a few hiccups, like with the bezel gasket, which is actually now it's completely seated now, solved itself. There is still a slight gap between the bezel and the case, but I think that's due to the tolerances. I just checked my Namoki watch, it has about the same, a little bit less, but about the same. Yeah, if you want zero space, you probably gotta pay a little bit more for the premium. Anyway, just have another look at the case back here once the camera focuses. Now look at that. Do you think it was worth it, or do you think, nah, save myself from trouble, have 200 meter water resistance and a little slimmer case back, I don't know. So that being said, thanks for watching. You know, this video here was a little bit different, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.